How do you make a woman want you sexually? Stay tuned. Today, this is a very special topic to me because if there's anything that I personally as a woman believe that men need to know is that they are desired, that men are wanted, that you, my sexy man, are wanted by women. Before I get into it, if you are new to my channel, then make sure that you subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell so that you get more videos just like this. Listen, the first thing that you have to understand is you have to get that women do want you sexually, that there's this myth that women don't want sex. I think it's like some old programming from old society that like painted this picture of like women aren't sexual beings. Hello, our society has changed. Unfortunately, not all of our mindsets have changed with society, but yes, women love sex. Have you ever been around women who talk about sex? They're gonna give you more details and it's gonna be far dirtier than when a man talks about sex to his guy friends. Women, we get into the nitty-gritty about it. Why? Because we love it. We love sex. We love having our bodies pleasured by a beautiful man who knows how to touch us in the right places, who makes our body tingle and shake and convulse. What a beautiful gift that you as a man get to deliver to a woman's body. So when you start thinking that women don't want sex, what you do is set yourself up for a losing battle. So let's make it clear. Yes, women do want sex. Say it with me. Yes, women do want sex. You have to reprogram yourself because if you go to speak to a woman, if you go to approach your wife, you go to approach a woman about sex and immediately you think she doesn't want sex, she doesn't want me, you've already rejected yourself. And so you start putting energy out there, your body language starts getting really insecure, and then all of a sudden you're wondering why she's rejecting you. She's rejecting you because you rejected you from the get-go. So get your power back, change your mindset and realize, yes, there are women out there who do want sex. It's not this old 50s society where it's like, women just love ironing clothes and once in a while we do the little do just to make a baby. Hell no. We want to be pleasured. We want to have our big O. It's very important to our vitality. There's nothing more sexy than a man who's in touch with his primal side. This leads me to the next one. I'm just gonna keep it really real with you guys. I work with a lot of single men, and when I'm coaching these guys, what I see in our society now are too many guys who are playing video games, watching Netflix, watching YouTubes like this, and not getting out and actually living and experiencing life. And what happens in that is that primal side of you isn't developed, it gets desensitized, and you lose that urge. But a man who's in touch with that primal energy, that like rico, it's so sexy, it's so stimulating, it draws us as a woman, it makes us ooze those sexual desires for you. So how do you get in touch with your primal side? The quickest way is go on an adventure. I am a big believer that guys need to do manly things. And some of you may be watching this and saying, Arica, I'm not that manly type of guy. That's okay, but do something that gets your heart pumping, that gets your adrenaline rushing. That is so important for you as a man to bring that kind of primal energy to a woman. So get in touch with that side of yourself. It's there. It's just waiting for you to experience it. So you're gonna have to sign up for some risk and you're gonna have to do things a lot differently if you wanna activate that primal side. That means going to the gym, putting some extra weights, pushing a little bit harder than you have before. Go skydiving, do some rock climbing, take an unexpected trip that you're terrified to take. The point is that primal side is just not gonna come out of you on its own naturally. You have to give it some adventure. You gotta feed it. You gotta take those risks to help bring that side of you back to life. Take some risks that test your capability. Maybe you need to prove to yourself just what you're capable of. Maybe you've been hiding out for too long, and maybe now it's time to start testing your limits. See what you're made of. And then when you meet that beautiful woman, tell her about those adventures. Tell her about the risks you've been taking. Tell her about the things that have activated your primal side. Like I went rock climbing. I jumped out of a plane. I went scuba diving with sharks. Point is, us women still find that stuff sexy. So make sure that you're doing something with your life that involves some sort of risk. And do it for you just so that you know what you're capable of, that you know that you can push the limits for yourself. And that will make you feel more like a man, which will in turn turn her on. To make a woman want you sexually, you have to be comfortable with your own sexuality. Another thing I see when I'm coaching men, which if you've never worked with me, then you're missing out. So make sure that you sign up for a private coaching session. I'll have it in the links below. But listen, you as a man, you need to know that you have the permission to be a sexual man. I know right now in our society, we're going through a lot of changes, and that's shutting men down sexually because they're terrified to touch women because of Me Too and all of these things that are going on. But listen, that sexual side of you is a part of who you are. That is to be celebrated, that is to be explored, and that is for you to get comfortable with, despite what society tells you. You can't let society dictate your life. The only person who has that much power is you. Now, will you use that power? So get comfortable with yourself sexually. When a man is comfortable with his sexuality, it's a different type of confidence that he exudes. You can feel a man walking through the door who's really comfortable in his body. He's comfortable with sex. He feels okay with that. He gives himself permission in that. When a woman sees that, poof, it's like signals go off and we become tunnel vision. We see only that guy. Because deep down we're going, if that guy is that comfortable with his sexuality, maybe he'll help me get past my inhibitions. And look, even as women, we want that sense of adventure, that primal instinct that helps pull us out of those inhibited places so that we can explore and become awakened to areas in our bodies and our sexuality. And you have the power to do that. But first, you got to give yourself permission to enjoy that power for you. So despite what society says, you have permission to be a sexual man. It's part of who you are. And guess what? Women are just as sexual as you are. So let's all give ourselves permission to be the sexual beings that we are and to enjoy what that brings to our bodies. So the first thing, you gotta let go of the myth that women don't want sex. That is bullshit. I am a woman, I have women friends, and guess what we talk about? We talk about sex, we talk about penises, we talk about positions, we talk about things that we're willing to explore in the bedroom. Why do we talk about it? Because we love it. Get in touch with your primal side. If you've become a neutered man and you spend more time on computers and watching Netflix and playing video games, then you gotta change the game. You gotta change your life. Start taking risks. I don't care what you do something to push your limits so that you feel more confident as a man, that you can activate that primal side. And get comfortable with you and your sexuality. Listen, your sexuality is a beautiful thing. You have permission as a man to be the sexual man that you are. And we as a woman, we celebrate that. Our bodies yearn for that. We crave that man who gives himself the green light to be sexual. And we hope that as you give yourself permission, that you'll help us get past our own inhibitions and give us the permission as well. In the comments section below, let me know which one of these resonated with you, and if you agree with me that society is making men feel shameful about their sexuality. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below, and I'll meet you there. Look, let's just keep it real. I have talked about this in my other videos, and I will tell you right here, if you get on Amazon's bestseller list, guess what is selling out like hotcakes? Women sex romance novels. And what do you think they're talking about? I will tell you what they're talking about because I read these books all the time. He pushed me up against the wall. He went up and fondled my breast. He pinched my nipple. I screamed in ecstasy. The pleasure he was giving me was creating heat and passion in my regions below. That's the shit that women are spending their money on, and where people spend their money is a matter of priority. So dispel the myth.